back in the gym with Bob, Anthony, and myself. Now you gotta excuse me a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I have a little bit of a tickle, a frog, something in my throat. It's never good to have something in your throat, if you know what I'm saying. So at least the sense of humor is still there. But what you're watching is my bench day from the other day. Now for this, I've been collabing with Bob this week as well as Anthony. You've seen both of them in other videos. This deload week for me. So Anthony's actually from Vegas, but he comes over to New England over the holidays to visit family. So we always try to get some training in. And Bob, being the cool guy he is, living just up the street, we try to get in some training whenever we can. So showing you some different actual angles here of our particular bench day. So one of the things that's been a little tricky for me this particular week is deloading and actually having people come in the gym to train with me, because it doesn't feel good for me to only lift 50 to 70% of my working numbers. I always feel like I need to perform, I need to show up, and that's always not possible when I'm deloading. So today I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just kind of do away with the deload for a little bit. I'm gonna try to work up to a new heavy triple for me, which was going to be, in my mind, 315 for 3 all paused. Anthony had said he's going for a new 1 rep max as well, so it was a PR kind of date for us, I guess. As part of that, one of the things that definitely helped was this Ever Forward shirt that you see me rocking from my good friend and my little friend, Mr. Max Tuning. So thank you for finally sending me a shirt that fits. Although this is still really tight, it's a double XL. I guess that's what you get when you get these Chinese and European sizing charts. No offense to anyone in those areas. Now here is my max set. This was my PR set, 315 for 3 with a pause. One of the problems I notice here with my shoes is my feet are sliding. So I don't normally train in these Nike Frees, but you can see they have no real grip and my feet start to slide some. So it takes away from whatever little leg drive I'm able to generate as is. However, I'll take it. 315 for paused reps is a new PR for me. Here's Anthony's attempt at 315. This was just for a single because, again, he was working up to a new 1 rep max. Goes up really, really smooth. Made me feel really, really bad about myself, which is why I try to only train with people that are not as strong as I am. Not so serious. Here's Bob's set 285. Now, for this, his goal was to work up to heavy 3s. Here's a second rep. I thought he had a 3rd rep in him, and I was like, why didn't you do that? And he's like, oh, you know, well, that would have been a PR for me. I said, well, definitely, why did you not try that? I mean, you have a spotter here. It looked pretty easy. You definitely had it. He said he was going to try it again, which you'll see in just a second. You'll see here my back off set of 285. So after that 315 set, I kind of dropped the weights, tried to play it a little bit safer. Here's Anthony's set of 335, which is his previous 1 rep max. And it goes up really easy. So really smooth, so really proud of him. Again, I really like when people can come in my gym and set PRs. You know, I don't want to take all credit, but being the asshole I am, I will take all credit. You are welcome, Anthony. So here's Bob's next set again, 285 again. Really gave him shit about going for a triple. And in this case, he needs a tiny bit of help. Just a tip, just a touch, just light enough, and it gets it up. So he definitely had this on his previous set. So great job for Bob also. So PRs for everybody. Here is my next set again, back off 285. Just working on some pause reps here. Now for this too, one of the things that I really wanted to work on is some of my accessory movements is going wide and close. So you'll actually see some of those in these lifts. However, there's only real an inch difference in between just because I'm trying not to do too big of a variance of all of them. Now into the big boy weights, Anthony with 350. This would be a new 1 rep max for him. It goes up really well, gets a little stuck, and I think he keeps going up. And I didn't want to grab it, but he told me to take the weight. He didn't have it. I really think he had that set in him if he wanted it, but he wanted to try it again. So what ended up happening was Bob and I went through 2 other rounds of pressing before he jumped back in. Here you see Bob with 275, again getting some good reps in. So pretty high volume for us this particular day. We don't normally do this many sets of benching. For me on this one, surprisingly enough, this is one of my wide grip sets. Now again, for this, only really an inch difference between, because although I want to throw in some accessory work, some variances of close grip, wide grip, whatnot, I don't want to really stray too much from the main lift these next 12 weeks leading forward. And I've found doing things like wide and close grip has really helped me overall. I also have been doing just a little bit of dumbbell work. On this particular day, we did some incline dumbbell press after. I didn't film it. I haven't really been as big on dumbbells over the past couple of months, and I don't necessarily know if that's an issue for me or not, only because my bench has been increasing at a pretty substantial rate considering that it's been pretty stagnant over the past couple of months prior to that. So I'm just going to stick with this because it's working now. One of the things that I've really tried to do also is not mess too much with the way that I set up and the way that I put my hands on the bar and whatnot, because typically between each session I would try to make small changes here and there. Now here's Anthony again at 350, so a second attempt. Took the wrist wraps off, and it goes really smooth. I'm there just in case. I'm not touching the bar. I know a lot of people don't like people that do that, but in this case, I've just seen too many accidents where people drop the bar on their face, and Anthony, not in that way necessarily, but didn't want to see anything bad happen to him. So then got a couple other angles. Here's Bob busting out 225 for a set of 10, which is really impressive considering that he set a PR earlier and we've done a lot of volume up to this point. So just getting in some good work, getting in some good actual repetitions just to get that blood pumping. Because sometimes everybody got to be a little bit of a bodybuilder. I followed that up with, again, another set of wide grips. So overall, my workout, if you guys don't want to follow me in Fitocracy, you don't have to. I know I mention it all the time, but I track all my workouts in there. I ended up working up to that 315 for 3. I did 285 for a couple sets of 3. I then did 3 sets of 5 with the wide grip paused bench, and then I did a couple of sets of close grip. I say a couple of sets because even me right now, I don't film all these sets, so I forget how many I did. Again, follow me in Fitocracy, which is linked below in the description box if you want to find out more. After Anthony hit that PR, he dropped down to 245 and did a set of, I want to say 15. He might have only gotten 14 reps on close grip bench, which is really impressive again, considering that he just set a PR. So definitely a big, strong dude, and I'm very afraid of him. I think. A little bit. He's a big teddy bear. Love you, boo-boo. Anyways, after he did this, I figured I'd get, like I said, a little close grip in. I just worked with 245 as well, but just did sets of 10. Just didn't have time to burn out. We also did some other stuff, like I said, some incline dumbbell bench presses. I did some band work for triceps, but overall, again, because it was a deload, which I feel like a broken record at this point. Here you see my close grip set. I just wanted to get some overall work in, and it was fun overall. We hit some lunch afterwards, but it's always great training with the two of them. I will link both of their channels in the description box below, so please check them out if you haven't already, and look forward to next week starting this meet prep so I can stop talking about deloading and making excuses. As always, thanks for watching, and stay big.